Let's get right into it. What if I told you that the reality you experience every single day isn't, well, real? What if it's just a story you've been telling yourself? We're going to dive into this idea based on the amazing work of Rosamund and Benjamin Zander and explore how you can start rewriting that story, like right now. Okay, imagine this. A big shoe company sends two of its top marketing people to Africa. After a few days, the first one looks around, sees the facts on the ground, and sends this telegram back to headquarters. Seems pretty logical, right? Case closed. A total bust. But then, the second scout, she sees the exact same thing. The same people, the same villages, the same set of facts. Nobody has shoes. And she sends this. The facts didn't change at all. What changed was the framework. This one little story, it tells you everything you need to know about what we're talking about today. And that kind of brings up a huge question for all of us, doesn't it? I mean, think about your own life. The things you think are impossible, the obstacles that feel like brick walls. What if they're just as invented as that hopeless situation?
To really get how we build these limits, we first have to see the mental cages we put ourselves in. The Zanders have a great name for this. They call it the invisible box. And you probably don't even know you're in one. Let's try something. Look at these 9 dots. The challenge is pretty simple on the surface. Connect all of them using only 4 straight lines. And you can't lift your pen from the paper. Go on, give it a shot in your mind for a second. It seems easy, but it's a real head-scratcher.
Now here's the fascinating part. The second you saw those 9 dots, what did your brain do? Without you even thinking about it, it drew a square around them. You just assumed that the lines had to stay inside that imaginary box. And here is the absolute kicker. As long as you play by that rule, the one you made up without even realizing it, this puzzle is literally impossible. There is no solution. And wow, is that a perfect metaphor for how we box ourselves in every single day.
So, if we're all living inside these invented boxes, what are our options? Well, the Zanders argue that we're constantly choosing between 2 completely different ways of seeing the world. And most of the time, we don't even know we're making a choice.
On one side, you've got what they call the world of measurement. Think survival, scarcity, competition. And on the other side, the universe of possibility. This is all about abundance, connection, and creating something new. I mean, just look at the difference. They're polar opposites. And let's be honest, most of us live in the world of measurement. It's our factory default setting. It's that constant game of comparing ourselves, trying to get ahead, and worrying that there's just not enough to go around. It's a world built on the idea that the pie is always limited. And that's the million-dollar question, right? How do you actually do it? How do you break out of that default, that scarcity mindset, and jump into a universe where totally new things can happen? Okay. Let's get into a really practical, powerful tool the Zanders give us. It's a simple little practice they call giving an A.
Now, giving someone an A has nothing to do with grades. It's about changing the whole relationship. From the very beginning, you decide to treat them as if they are already the brilliant, capable person they have the potential to be. It's not a standard they have to meet. It's a possibility you invite them to step into.
This is my favorite story about it. There was a student from Taiwan who was always ranked near the bottom of his class. He saw himself as number 68. When his new teacher, Ben Zander, just gave him an A on day 1, he was totally confused. But then it hit him. Number 68 is an invented story. A student is also an invented story. So why not choose the one that makes you happier and more powerful? He decided he was an A. See, when you start giving out A's, you see possibility everywhere. You don't just assume a 5-year-old can't possibly understand a dense 90-minute symphony. No, you give her an A, you tell her the passionate, exciting story behind the music, and this is what you get. A whole new reality. Okay, so let's pull all these threads together. Once you really get that your reality is just a story, you can start inventing a completely new game to play. That moment, you truly understand that it's all invented. The rules, the limits, the rankings. That whole frantic game of success and failure it loses its grip on you. You're not just a piece on the board anymore. You get to be the one who designs the whole game. So what's this new game? The Zanders suggest a really powerful idea. You shift your focus from what can I get or how can I succeed to one simple question. How can I be a contribution? It changes everything. Suddenly, it's not all about you. It's about the impact you have. And that brings us right back to where we started, our puzzle. Here it is, the solution. You see, the lines have to go outside the box. The possibility was right there the whole time, just beyond a boundary that we never even realized we created for ourselves. So how do you start spotting your own invisible boxes? You can start with these 2 incredibly powerful questions. First, ask yourself, what assumption am I making that I'm not even aware I'm making that gives me the world I see right now? And then follow it up with, what could I invent right now that would give me a whole new set of choices? Look, in the end, this isn't just about learning a cool concept, it's about taking action. It turns your entire life into a creative act. So the real question isn't what you learned from this, it's what new game, what new possibility are you going to go out and invent today?